Hello, welcome to my very first pouring video. I decided to go tiny. Everybody else is going big scale, fancy scale, etc. But I decided, well, I do these tiny things upon occasion. I turn them into magnets or whatnot. So I thought I'd show you how to do a small pour, which involves baby shot glasses, which is very fun and very entertaining. I'm also doing something a little bit different for me. I usually don't use Elmer's glue. Usually I use by weight, not volume. 1 part Floetrol, 1 part paint, and up to 1 part or 1.5 parts of water. And I put it all in one at a time and very slowly, especially with water, because sometimes you'll hit that consistency sooner than later. Other times you'll need to put more water in, but you don't want to put in more than 1.5 times to 1, 1 to 1.5 times water, because it just makes your paint crack. Good thing to know. So I haven't tried using Elmer's. All I've got on hand is the clear, so I'm giving that a go. I've already pre-mixed the paint and the Elmer's ahead of time. It didn't need water. Apparently the Elmer's thinned out the paint enough. The white started out a little thick, which it usually does. White should technically be the heaviest one, so if we put that on top, it should fall to the bottom as the painting settles. Definitely look at Annemarie's videos for the details and get-goes. I'm not using a torch. I'm not going to use silicone. I'm going to do the cheapy way. So that's why I've got these little things that are almost ready to pour when you buy them, and water and Elmer's, because that's as cheap as you can get it. And then if you can get tiny canvases, that's even cheaper. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and move all the stuff out of the way. You should always wear gloves, even if you're dealing with non-toxic stuff, because even though it says non-toxic, they're not always counting on you to be actually putting your fingers in stuff. So Floetrol, you don't want to have your fingers in that. Silicone stuff, you don't really want your hands in the lubricants, because a lot of times they have additives if they're not pure silicone or pure dimethicone. So usually please do wear gloves. And also when you dispose, don't wash them down the sink, don't wash them down the drain, don't put them down the water main, the water gutter out there. It goes straight into your creeks. It's really bad. There are tiny molecularly sized molecules rather than microbeads or molecules of plastic and acrylic. People don't realize that that's just as bad, if not worse, than microbeads. So you don't want to put acrylics down the sink into the water system, because it comes back through our fish or through our drinking water, because sanitation can't really filter that. Can you tell I work at Public Works? Anyways, off we go for our little micro pour. Not as small as this, not as complex, but that really wasn't as hard as it looks. So of course we'll do the Annemarie thing. We'll start out with white. Woot white. Nice little base. I'll come out on top. We're going to do a dirty pour. We'll do a flip cup. Then I'll do red from semi upon high. Seems to be thickening enough just as I stand here. Why did I pick red? Because it was just what happened to be available in my stash this evening. It's kind of late at night here in California. Party! Okay, didn't get a lot of height with those, but that's alright. Now we'll put a little bit more white in. We're going to be a little sloppy. Hopefully this isn't too much of a wreck on the video. I can't see. And as you can see, I've got a totally amateur hour setup for my videotaping, and obviously I'm not really practiced in this sort of thing. Otherwise I'd be much smoother in my delivery. I fake it as well as I can, pretending to be a receptionist or working at a trade show, talking to folks. Ooh, look at that. We've already got some really cool action going on in there. I hope you can see that. So I'll put some more red in, but you'll definitely get to see how the colors layer up once they settle. Now you must remember, what you get when you pour is not always what you end up with when it dries. So curb your expectations, be zen. This is an opportunity to let go of control and just see what the universe is going to do at the end of the day. If you have control issues, this is definitely not a craft you probably want to be messing with anyways. Well, maybe you would, I don't know. You can control it, but that's a whole other animal. And that actually involves spending a bunch of money and time and energy that you may or may not be up for doing. Doing it this way is a great way for a beginner to kind of get their feet wet. Yes, I'm a slob. I'm just going to pile those up, which is going to be a pain in the butt later. So now we're going to do the whole swirly thing that Annemarie does. Hopefully I didn't just turn it into mud. Got a lot of brown in there. It doesn't look too hopeful. Anyways, let's see what happens. Little miniature flippy cup. This is going to be incredibly messy. And that's going to be incredibly fun. Or it's going to be like, oh my god. Doesn't really matter. It's all good. No one will die. That is one of my favorite sayings. It's all good. No one will die. It's just paint. It's just 79 cents a bottle. Whatever. No one will die. I like to give it a second. Most people do. Some people just go whack, whoo, the fancy way. You slide it up, as Annemarie would say. Then you let it go and don't let any drops in the middle if you can possibly help it. You drag your little cup around a little bit. We want to try to cover all the edges. Well, that looks kind of mucky and ucky, but who knows? You never know what you're really going to get with a pour, and that's kind of the fun and the adventure of it. And I might have to paint in the edges, because it looks like I might not have had enough paint, but who knows? You can't get too attached to any of your cells or any of your stripes or your movements. You really do gotta go with it, otherwise you will stress yourself out. No such thing as perfection. Only God is perfect, and He made the platypus, so what's that saying? But you know, platypus is very perfect for its little environment. And it's a very happy little critter. Look, we got a little lack of paint over here, so I don't really have enough paint, but that's alright. This is just for this sacrificial canvas for demonstration purposes only. And come in here and help it. Sometimes pulling the paint with another bit of paint will help it move down on the sides and the edges. And then we get, ooh, look at that. You know, it's really not that bad. And that's 9 times out of 10 what you'll get to say when you're doing this. Oh, that's hideous. Oh my god, that's so cool. How did that happen? And you'd have to be a chemist or understand paint and pigment densities to actually explain that. Oh my god, that's pretty cool. Look, we've got some lacing and some cells, which is really surprising. We didn't use a torch. We're not going to use a torch. We do have bubbles. Theoretically, you can, like, that's kind of awkward, onto the painting, and sometimes that will pop the bubbles. You can put it next to a warm light source, and that will also eliminate the bubbles. Now, this looks pretty cool. I mean, it's only a, 2x2 canvas. I'm going to put this up by the light and see if we can pop some bubbles, although it's fluorescent, and then I have LED, gone are the incandescents that actually would do something to the bubbles. Or we just let them do their thing. Anyways, so that's an introduction. That is a very tiny canvas. You do get cells, you got mud. I'm not seeing white, but that might or might not come through later. So we'll have to see what it does when it dries. It's kind of like a mystery package. Thank God it's not mystery meat, but that's a whole other video that we don't have to go into. Anyways, thank you for watching my very first pouring video, and feel free to troll me or say I did great. It's all good. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye.